Rock and roll. Thanks for swinging by the guitar shop again. Today on the bench we have a Jackson, a USA Jackson. I believe this is a Dinky. And this particular Dinky is a limited edition. It's made special for Guitar Center, 1994, the 30th anniversary, number 24 of 100. See that on the neck plate there? Guitar Center, 1994, 30th anniversary, number 24 of 100. Pretty sweet. That has to be a rare guitar, huh? Limited edition, number 24. So, this guitar is in for most of a setup. I think there was something that was hard for the customer to put his finger on exactly what wasn't right about it. He just didn't feel like it was playing quite like it used to. So, man, the action's nice and low. 3/64. Tremolo has been blocked. It's got a D-Tuna on it. I was kind of messing with that earlier, and I don't think that the D-Tuna is acting exactly right, going straight to the right pitches, so we'll definitely mess with that. Maybe do some general intonation. Start with a fresh set of strings. So let's get started. It's a beautiful piece of ebony. So my buddy Rob that owns this guitar, he's been playing Floyd Rose a long time. He knows all about how they're supposed to work. And so he doesn't want me to tie those knots on the treble strings like I usually do, and like I frequently tell you I'll show you in every video. So I'm afraid this video is not going to include how to tie those knots. But I can go ahead and explain what I'm doing on the Floyd Rose over here for you. I always advise using the short end of the torque arm to tighten the string locks on a Floyd Rose, because there's these little tiny pieces of steel that lock, I think they're called the string locks, that it's what holds the string in place down here. And if you tighten these too much, you can crack those little blocks, and that's a can of worms, having to either pound them out from the inside and then try to replace them, or just have to replace the whole saddle set or saddle piece, possibly the whole set of saddle pieces. So can get pretty expensive. So I say resist the temptation to use the long arm of the torque or Allen wrench. Just get them as tight as you can with this short part, but don't tweak it a little extra. As tight as you can get it like this, and I mean seriously as tight as you can with the short part of the torque arm, and you should be golden. Especially on these big fat wound strings. You put the string down in there and you start tightening it, and you can feel when it makes contact, and then you can feel the added resistance as it kind of starts to flatten all of the windings on the string, kind of crush it in there. And you do want that. You do want it to be tight, but you don't want it to be the tightest you could possibly get it. You just want it to be death grip tight like this, which is just kind of sort of tight like this. So I say tighten it like that and just tighten it as hard as you can, and you shouldn't have any problems. So since we're not locking these on or tying these on with a knot, we'll just do all of them like I usually do the bass strings, where one wrap over, all the rest of the wraps down the post. I don't really like how that first wrap is kind of bulging there. Tighten that back up. That looks better. So it's very likely that you can get away with not including that locking knot, that knot that I lock the string on the post. You can probably get away with not using that on most every guitar, but I feel like it's the most proper, best way to do it. So I usually do it on every guitar, even ones with lock nuts. On this guitar, I was requested not to do it, so I will be happy, well, I will concede and do it the way the customer requested. He's paying the bill, so it doesn't matter if I feel like that's the best work I know how to do. That's how he wants it. And I'm cool with that. Just accommodating a special request. And since this Floyd is blocked off, I can't use my usual string stretching technique for Floyd. So I'll just go back to my normal string stretching technique for, you know, fixed bridge guitars. And when you set in one of these D-tuners, D-Tuna, you set the D string, you make the E string as a D string with the thing pulled out. Then you push it in, and you make that an E. And you make that an E by tightening this tiny little set screw. Can we get it in the camera? This tiny little set screw right here. Just tiny little micro turns. A tiny little turn on that can make a big difference on how sharp the note goes. Still a tiny bit sharp. So now we just center up the fine tuners and lock her down. Since this guitar doesn't have the string tree like many Floyd Rose guitars do, it probably went a little sharper than normal. Or not. Well, let's plug her in and have a listen. that wraps it up for this one. Thanks for swinging by the shop, hanging out while I set up some Floyd Rose guitar, and I guess I'll catch you on the next one. Rock and roll, man. You still here? Rock and roll. I appreciate it. Catch you on the next one.